and welcome. My name's Sam and this is The Little Greenhouse Creates, and thank you for joining me today for another video. I must apologise, I still seem to have this really sore throat and coldy feeling. I've progressed to sucking the throat lozenges now, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me a little clearer. Okay, so if like me, when you have a occasion, whether it be a birthday, an anniversary or a Christmas, you want to send out a number of thank you cards. You don't always want to have to make them really complicated and make loads of them. So I wanted to show you a version today that you could do, making 2 cards at the same time but making them slightly different. Okay, so here are my cards to show you. I'm actually using the stamp set that is the Ornate Thanks. I'm just going to use the big word thank you, and I'm mixing up the DSP, or the Designer Series paper. So let me bring in our supplies and I can show you quickly how we go. Okay, so we've got a few bits of supplies here today. But as usual, we have our 2 pieces of main cardstock. They measure both the same, so that's 8 and 5 3/4, scored at the 4-inch mark. So we're just going to burnish those quickly. There we go. We then have our layering pieces. I have 2, one in Granny Apple Green and one in the Calypso Coral. Okay, and these measure 5.5 by 3 3/4. I have 2 pieces of DSP which measure 3.5 by 5 1/4, and they all layer like that. I have a 3.5 by 5 1/4 inlayers for inside the cards. I have 2 pieces of layering cardstock that measure 1 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then I have 1 inch by 4 inches for the sentiment piece, which will go like so. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to do this one first of all. So I'm going to take the cardstock and I'm just going to slice it diagonally. Okay, so corner to corner, like so. There we go. I'm just going to run that diagonally down that piece of cardstock. I'm then going to do exactly the same to this piece of Designer Series paper. Okay, I have 2 pieces, and I'm going to do exactly the same to the other piece of Designer Series paper. Run it corner to corner. Okay, making sure that each corner is sitting in this groove here and here. Okay, and then running that straight down. Okay. What I'm going to decide to do is I'm going to put that piece there, and that piece will go onto there. Those pieces we'll come back to in a moment. So the first thing we need to do is to adhere our cardstock. I'm just going to decide whether, I think I'm going to do it that way. Yes, I am. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere the cardstock to the card base using my multi-purpose glue. I'll start with the top bit. I'm just going to run it down the edges like so. And I'm going to make sure that it's as equal as it possibly can be on the 2 sides, top edge and the left hand side edge. When I'm happy that I've got it in the place I want to do, I'm just going to spread the glue out. Okay, so that's that one. Now I'm going to do exactly the same with this side. So again, I'm just going to run my glue on the back. What I like to do this time is I'm actually going to bring it up and then bring it back, so I get this little gap down the middle. Okay, and then I know that it's equal. Okay, so that's that bit. Now we're going to glue our designer series paper. This time I'm using the stamp and seal, and I'm just going to go down the edges. There we go. Okay, so then you've got that little thin area there and around the edges. I'm going to do the same with this piece of DSP as well. Okay. There we go. Put it back slightly. There. Measures up, lines up, and once you're happy you can push down and seal. So the only thing for this card now is to put our sentiment on the middle. So again, I'm bringing in the thank you, which is this one here. Good. And I'm going to use the So Saffron for this one. Pop that in the middle. And then that can be glued onto here. Again with the multi-purpose. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, that's that one. So I don't end up sticking everything to that piece. I'm just going to tear that piece off. Otherwise, knowing my luck, I will end up sticking it to myself and the card. Okay, so I'm going to add the dimensionals. Put one in each corner and one in the middle. And then that can go in the middle of here, like so. And then we can add some bling to it. So let's see, what should we add? What should we add? Oh dear. I think I might add these ones today. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add these wonderful green ones. Yeah, and then I'm going to use two smaller ones, one down there and one in there. There we go. Okay, so that is the first one. And now we can go on to doing our second one. Oh, I'll tell you what I haven't done. I haven't added the layer, inside layer, so I'm just going to run my stamp and seal down that, and then that can go inside. Obviously, not putting a layer on a light colour isn't as important as putting it on a dark colour. Right, so whereas I cut the previous piece in half, I'm not actually going to do that with this piece. I'm just going to glue it straight down. Okay, and that's like so. I'm just going to burnish again. That's it, perfect. And then I'm going to stick my two pieces in the correct place with the stamp and seal. Okay. And that will go. Just going to make sure that it's even on both sides, so the left hand side and the top. There we go, that's that piece down, and then we can do exactly the same with this piece here. Again, I'm going to try and bring it in and then bring it out again so that it's as even as possible. There. Now if you find you've got a piece here, like this one, sticking up, we can't really try and do stamp and seal. So what you can do is just get yourself a little glue dot and just pop that underneath, and that, because it's a flat, it should solve the problem for you quite easily. There you go. There, perfect. Right, okay, so the next thing to do now is to put the sentiment onto this piece. So again, I'm going to use the Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to use the thank you. Stamp up the thank you, make sure I'm happy with it. Yeah, a bit more. That's better. Right, okay. I'm just going to pop my thank you straight down, straight up. Like so. And that will then layer onto our piece of cardstock using the multi-purpose. Oops, that's slightly wonky. Let's see if we can straighten that up. Oops, excuse me. That's better. Okay, so we're happy with that. We can then add our dimensionals. Again, one in each corner and one in the middle. And that can get layered on the top, like so. And the only thing to do now is to add that tiny bit of bling. What am I going to use? They look a bit too big. Okay, let's just use the rhinestones. Whoops. Backings are sticking to me now. And again, I'm just going to add the rhinestones in the middle. and on the outside of the sentiment. So, a quick and easy way to create 2 cards that are same but different, if you see what I mean. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. As I say, sorry about the throat and the grogginess. I will add to the shopping list this DSP Designer Series paper as well as this Designer Series paper, so if you wish to know or purchase either of them, then you will see them in the shopping list. If you're watching on YouTube, please just give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and subscribe, and you will never miss one of my videos, fingers crossed. And thank you ever so much for joining me today. I shall be back tomorrow for coffee and cards, so if you're free, do join me then. Whatever you do for the rest of the day, stay safe, take care, and lots of love. Bye.